Hey, Keith here from Rank Revival. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how this tool works. Rank Revival is an always-on content auditing app. Basically, what it does is pulls your data from Google Search Console and then sorts it by the URLs that have been declining in traffic over time. So you or your content managers always have a list of priorities for content optimization and can keep track of what you've previously optimized and the changes you've made in the past. So let's jump in and see how it works. Now, each time you log in, it will ask you to log into your Google account so it can access your Google Search Console. This goes through and downloads the data for your website. If you haven't added a website before, you can use the section up here to see all your verified sites in Google Search Console. Click on Add Site. If you've already added sites before, you can select the site and it won't need to download all the 13 months of data that it does during the initial run. Okay, so here we are on the main screen. What we start with here is a list of URLs on your website, and they're sorted by which have declined the most in clicks. So in February for this website in 2023, there was 347 clicks, which was the highest traffic month this site has had in those 13 months. And this number here is the countdown from here. So if this month's traffic went up or remained the same for these entire months, this would be 0 if it remained the same. But this is the decline from this month here down through all these months here. So this is a good starting point to see what you should optimize first. So another column we've got here is the year-on-year difference, and this is why we've got 13 months in here. So we can see here on this website, 350 clicks last month, only 5 in the latest February. So we've had a 98.56% decline in traffic for this URL. So now we know that this URL is a URL that used to perform pretty well, but has been declining, so we should work on this. The other thing you can do in this table here is you can sort this by total clicks. And if we do that, it's going to show us all the articles or pages on the website that haven't received any traffic at all in the last 13 months. So this also is a good starting point for a content audit. So you could go through here and delete things that haven't been performing at all, or maybe recreate the article fresh. You could also still also do content optimization on these, but they've been performing so badly, they may be dragging your website down, and it might be time to get rid of them. Now, we have a done column here. Things like articles and page two, this sort of thing that you're never going to want to optimize. You can click done on these and say done forever and say not a page to optimize. And you can put your name in here if you wanted to. And this is going to move it from the to do column so that you won't see it each time when you're trying to do your audits. So if we come over to the to do column here, and I'm going to sort this by lost clicks again. That one we just marked off as done is now in this done section here. So you can work from the all column here, or you can work from the to do column here. If you're in to do, you won't see these. You won't see any that have already been done. So you'll always be looking at the ones that have been declining in traffic the most over these periods. If you haven't got 12 months or 13 months of data here, the year-on-year difference won't be applicable, but you do need to look for things in here like seasonality and think about that as well when you're deciding on which articles that you want to refresh. Other things we can do here is we've got filters. So if you had a blog section and you had one person working on that section, you could save a filter and have them working within there, and you can reload the filters and all that sort of thing. Because this does download your data from Google Search Console, it may not have all the URLs on your website. If you've had URLs that haven't received any clicks and also haven't had any impressions in the last 13 months, they may not be in here. So if that's the case, you can add URLs here by either a URL list or add your sitemap, and that will add them all in here as well. So it's a good idea to do that before you get started on your audit, because if you sort this by total clicks, and you'll have all the others in here showing 0 as well that weren't in sorted initially. So what else can we do with this? So if we want to do optimizations, so we want to know more about the URL, we can come over here and click on the URL, We've got some more things we can do in here. So we've got AI content auditing. Now, what these do is they download the content from your site and then analyze it against um, things that may be useful depending on what they are. So in this one here, it's running your article against the Google Helpful Content Guidelines and then analyzing whether there's anything that you may be missing in there. Competition audit, it allows you to pull data from competitors and then it compares your article to their article to see what you're missing. Information gain is looking for other things that you could add, like citations or tables to your data and more things like that. Previous optimization log is going to show the last time you've optimized this article, and you'll have your notes kept in here, so you can always come into here to see when it was last optimized and what the editor did. Click decline by keyword here is going to show the keywords that have declined. So it's the same table we've got on the main screen, except keyword specific. So we can see here, best probiotic yogurt was the keyword that got the most clicks back in Feb 23. So this might be something we'd want to look at when we're optimizing our article. So let's run through one of these. So if we come over to AI content auditing and go to information gain, it's going to pull in our URL right here, and we can click go. It's going to take a minute. It's fetching the content off the page, and it's going to display that content to us just so we can see that everything's loaded correctly before we analyze it. Okay, so now we've got the article from our website, and we can scroll down here and check out the content that's all been pulled correctly if we want to. Otherwise, we can just go straight to analyze content, and this will analyze our content using AI to find out what what features in our articles we could potentially add that we don't already have. Okay, and here we go. So it's recommending that we can add statistics to the article that we may not already have, and it's giving some examples of how we can do that. It's also mentioning a table of data we could potentially add to the article. So we've got quite a few brands of yogurt and the calories. So this is AI, so we would need to sanity check this and make sure everything is correct. It's mentioning we could have quotes from specialists and we could cite sources, and it's mentioning some of the parts of our article where we haven't mentioned sources and we could, um, making it a bit easier to understand and fluency. And it's also got some unique words that we haven't got in our article that we could potentially have, and also some technical terms which we also saw in that table above. And it's also looking at what else we could add to the content that we don't currently have in there. So we can export these if we need to. Otherwise, the writer or editor could take some notes down for these and look for things that they potentially could add to the article to improve it. So once we've done that, we've got our information here. We're going to close out of here. We're going to close out of this one, and we're back to our main table again. So we're working on this probiotic yogurt article here. Once the editors make the changes, they can come into here. They can tick this as done. Now, what this is for is if we're optimizing the article right now, we don't want it just to instantly display back in the to-do table again. So we can say here how long we don't want to see this article again for. So if we think 3 months is, if we think we wouldn't want to optimize an article again for at least 3 months, we could choose that. If we've got a huge amount of data here, we may even use a longer period. 3 months should be good. And then we can come in here and typed in what we changed. Yeah, that can do. And then I'll put in the editor's name here, myself, and okay. Now, when we've done that, it is out of the to-do column now, and it is in the done column. And if we come over to here, we can go to our previous optimization log, and we can see our notes in here. So we can see the date it was optimized, when it's hidden until, what we've done to the article, and who the editor was. So in 3 months' time, when this article does pop back up in the to-do list again, if it hasn't improved, Before we would optimize that, we'd want to check out those notes just to see what we did last time, so we're not trying to optimize the same thing again. Cool. As well as this, we can print out reports, so we can choose some dates here and say if you've got multiple writers in here making changes, you might want to see how many they've done in the last month. So you could come into here and see um, how many articles they've completed. And over here in the account button, it's just basic right now. But if you wanted to get rid of the site, you can click the delete button and that will delete your data out completely. Cool, and that is it. So this is a tool I built for myself and my team, but it just kept growing and growing, so I thought I'd share. If there's any additions or anything you'd like to see, let me know. And thanks a lot. See ya.